So this is the dude, and he's talking to Liz Gunn, and he is showing her some of the data that apparently shows all the deaths from the vaccine.
So people can find that.
Yeah.
Find my batch.
Yes, they should be able to. Yes.
Hello.
So what I did was our internal batch ID. I counted the number of vaccinated within that batch, and then I found out who was dead.
Wow, let's have a look.
And so we then look at the percentages ratio.
That sounds
So
very
do we know if these are all
rigorous.
Pfizer, the top 10?
But we'll just listen to the first one.
And this is Pfizer's batch number one.
Batch number one.
711 from batch number one vaccinated.
Yep.
152 of those died, which makes...
Right. So batch number one, likely the very first batch put through, right? 151 people died. Nothing or nowhere in the data does it say they died of the vaccine. They're trying to sell the story that people were dropping dead in the like shot, drop dead. The research actually shows, if you delve into it, that these people died like 200 days after they got their vaccine, and the average age of them was 82. So they don't reveal this here, and they don't put it out here. So yeah, there may well have been 711 vaccine. There may well have been 152 people who died within that year, because the average age of the person who died was 82. Which means if it was batch one, as in the first batch ever given out, that was also given to the most vulnerable, the oldest, and the people on the front line. So if it's given to the most vulnerable and the oldest, yeah, there you go. First people vaccinated were really, really old. And I don't question that maybe 21% of those people either have died since this information come out, or what I've seen reports of are within the first 200 days. So we're not going to watch any more of that, but just so you know, they're putting together these deaths, meaning from the vaccine as soon as it happened. There is no evidence for that, and it certainly doesn't say that in the report. But what you're having now is a New Zealand conspiracy theorist get onto this game. Here's an example. Now, I'm not throwing shade on this woman. I don't know who this woman is. I'm just using her tweet. It's public record. So this is what she says. Ellie is her name. So she advertises the actual event. Our beautiful whistleblower, Barry Young and Alex Jones, discussing the data release, discussing the data, how he reached out to, this is the bit about what I was saying earlier, about how if you're not 100% for them, you're against them. Right. And these guys who have touted relationship with these people like Peters, and down here you see Sean Plunkett, how he reached out to Winston Peters both on phone and email before releasing the data. Winston, you didn't pick up the phone. Were you lying about an inquiry? Why did you not respond? Barry emailed all members of Parliament, including you, Chris Lux, and all of the executive team of Ministry of Health. Our new government was just as corrupt as the last. Winston Peters, you are a lying son of a bitch. So Winston Peters actively wanted these people's support, right? He went after them. He got them. He fooled them. He got them on board. And now he's not dancing to their tune, so he's becoming the enemy. I'm going to play some of the actual interview on Alex Jones. Do you want to jump in with anything before we do that, Chewy?
No, let's roll with this. I want to see how the Pfizer vaccine has turned the frogs gay or whatever.
You're the frogs gay. First thing I'll have you notice over here to the right-hand side, there's another Liz Gunn is coming up. List her as a lawyer first and then an investigative journalist. Yes, she has practiced law, I think in the late 1970s. So this is a conversation just towards the end. I'm only going to give you 60 seconds. Don't panic. And I'll just play it.
That's just why you're so awesome, brother. Because I'll be honest, if I was doing what you were doing, I'd already be thinking 5 steps ahead. You are such a sweetheart. Your family, your lady, you're such sweethearts. Closing comments here that you want to impart to folks.
I just want to say I'm doing this for the people of New Zealand.
No, good, bro. You don't need to.
For the kids, for our grandchildren, our Mokapuna, our Tamariki. This is for them. And this data set holds a lot of river of tears. I've already said that. There's a lot of deaths in this data that need to be questions.
A lot of deaths of 82-year-olds 12 months after having the vaccine.
Need to be asked, and a lot of people have died to bring this data to the.
A lot of people have died to bring this data. You said this is the what? Are you saying that there was a like SEAL Team 6 went in to get it? A lot of people gave up their lives for this data.
public's attention. Don't let them die in vain.
It was George Orwell that said, in a time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. You are a hero because we become cowards.
There you go. That's what I'm going to play for you. But I'm going to play one other thing. And so this is what he's just done. He's had this interview, and this is the kind of stuff that he finishes it with. You ready for this? I'm saying he's literally grifting. Now, that man looks like a believer. So he's completely fooled by the system. He's been sucked in by someone, and he's gone down that rabbit hole. And then this man gets that man's illness, sickness, cult-like status, and he does this to it.
It's been 2 hours since I plugged. And if I plugged every segment, we'd have plenty of money. It's true. But I get so obsessed with covering news, keep knocking my clip off here in my earpiece. I get so obsessed with covering news, I skip the breaks, I skip the ads and everything. Please go now to InfoWarsStore.com. Go there, store-wide free shipping, biggest sale of the year. Do your Christmas shopping there. Support freedom.
He literally,
InfoWarsStore.com.
He literally says, I need money for the courts.
Turbo Force, 10-hour clean energy, back in stock, selling out. And all that stuff keeps free speech and InfoWars on the air. That's wonderful. Do that. Plus, they're great products. But the court has said, oh, yeah, Jones can get part of the money from his book sales.
The court has said.
So that's what's paying my legal bills, and the court ruled I had to pay half of them. So the real chink in the armor is I'm $2 million+ in the hole.
There you go. So he's literally grifting off this man's delusion to get money to pay his court fees and lawyers because he's been sued for, I think it was $2.4 billion.